152 people on here. So, including me. That's me. Well, I'm on there twice, so 151 people. These are, there's a lot of experts on here. There's a lot of newbies on here. There's a lot of people that could potentially answer your question. We have a guide on how to ask questions and links logs. Never ask to ask. Don't hop on there and say, "Hey, do you mind if I ask a question?" You're seriously asking me to type to you, "It is okay to ask a question?" You really wasted my time. Never ask to ask. Just ask. Be patient. Don't hop on here and you don't get a response in 20 minutes, 5 minutes, and like, gosh, what's wrong with you guys? And click. Right? Be patient. It doesn't mean you can't keep typing, right? Keep typing a few things. If people start seeing off in the corner of their eyes, man, it just keeps moving. There must be some big conversation. Oh, it's just all this one guy. Man, he must be really desperate. Can I answer anything for him? Right? Don't go away. The worst thing is I get these easy questions on there, and I'm sorry, I haven't been logged in for a couple hours. I go and look at there, and it's it's super easy. How would I answer it? You're gone. This is live chat. Don't go away. Leave it logged in. If you're going to ask a question, stay there. And if you can't stay logged in, it should be logged. I'm not 100% sure our logs are all up to date, but there are logs. Paste bin a boot log. Right? This is all about what actually happened. Don't dump a whole boot log into the chat. Use paste bin. Who knows what paste bin is? A lot of you don't. So on the Beagles themselves, there is a utility called paste bin it. If you pipe text into paste bin it, let's just do that. If you do, so to view the kernel log, the command is dmesg, dmessage. I don't know what it stands for, sorry. I got Jupyter playing. I had a lot of fun last night, so dmesg and paste bin it. For some reason, the newer paste bin put some warnings. They're harmless. I'm going to open the link. This is my kernel log. This is all the messages that the kernel has sent since it's been running. All right, so getting its IP addresses, the list of drivers that have been loading. Right, this one has. I've got that sound card running over the I2S driver. I've got. Let's see, blow this up. CAN driver's loaded. Oh, I've got a camera connected. Right. It's telling me lots and lots of useful information for somebody that's. This is all the debug printfs inside the kernel. You can ask it to tell you more detailed printfs, like more detailed debugging statements, but this is how it's default configured. And it has all sorts of useful information at the top too, like which kernel version you're running, where it was built, by whom, what you're running it on, right? There should be, here we go, Beaglebone Blue. It's like, oh, I can figure out 90% of users' issues by if they can do this, you probably tell them what's going wrong.
So remember yesterday whenever my Beaglebone crapped out randomly, or I pasted a Python file and it crashed on for a minute?
I did a different one for you.
You did journal CTL,
I did,
right?
Yeah, journal CTL. So the DMESG, we should get those written down, right? The DMESG is the kernel messages. The journal control is the system messages. So that gets the other applications running their log output. See, this first part of it looks really similar. That's because it's also logging the kernel messages. So journal control is more general.
So produce the kernel messages by dmessage does what?
Dmessage provides the kernel messages. And journal control, journal CTL, provides the system messages or system log. So we can see it's for a lot of folks on the list. This one could be a bit verbose, but it's still fine. They can find useful information if you provide the whole journal. But I think it's we probably have on the list more Linux experts than we do have like Beagle system experts, because they just use it like a Linux box and that moves along, right? It's a nice Linux box for them and they're happy that way.
Pastebin. So you go to pastebin.com or something. What did you?
So I used a utility called Pastebin. So this is the magic food. Journal control. I have to be on the internet, but journal control, pipe it through Pastebin, and that uses paste.demu.net. There are other if you need a Pastebin, if you just Google Pastebin, there's a whole bunch of Pastebin services. They're just ways to throw up a bunch of text on a web page. Right. A lot of them will have ugly advertisement on them, so hopefully you don't get one that's too ugly. They don't keep these forever. Like they're usually around for a couple weeks and then they delete them. But for the conversation, they're super useful.
And you would just put the
Then you put the link.
or the number of
Like in this chat, I would copy that link. So it'd say, yeah. I'm trying to think of a question actually. Like, so what's the magnetometer we're trying to use? No, that's too easy.
Let's do this.
I can't even ask a legitimate question because at this point I know the next steps to do.
So
Is there anything we're stuck on? Oh, that the other magnetometer.
we want to know the R encoders, which are the AMS, AS5048B. These are very popular.
The AMS, what's it called?
AS5048B.
AS5804B.
AS5048B.
AS5840.
504.
The cough was at a bad time.
Okay, you're welcome. 5048.
504A?
8.
B? AS5?
Correct. 5048.
that's
You still got a mistake.
Well, tell me what the mistake is.
change the first to a 0.
Correct. Yep, that's a 0.
5048B.
Perfect.
I gotta go back and find the link now. What was the one we were finding? Oh, none of these look like it. I thought it was an MMC. I thought it was 3. I thought it started with a 3-4. Is this a different one?
The one I just fed you is for our left and right encoders.
Oh.
Sorry.
We haven't looked for that one yet.
You want
right?
the one,
But that's not a magnetometer.
you want well, it truly uses a magnet sensor, but.
It's a magnet sensor is different than a magnetometer though. Is that a orientation sensor?
This one, I think it's listed as an encoder.
Okay, encoder.
High resolution position sensor, rotary position sensor.
that not be considered orientation? All right, so let me copy that one over here because I'm going to do my homework before I ask the question, but I'm going to ask the question. Too many tabs. Is this right? AS5048B. I'm going to remove a few significant zeros. Significant digits so I can try to find
504.
Oh, you call it a position sensor? What did it call itself? A position sensor?
Rotary position sensor. Open Dog uses it.
What did you say? Driver's IIO. Well, that's useful to know. That changed. That's really useful to know. I can't send.
Is that maybe?
It shouldn't be blocked. So the free node guy seems to.
Hey.
5048, yes?
Yes. Matrix one.
Oh, who's my...
Eve 2 library.
No, not RCN, let's bug... Sifu. Well, I wonder how long it's been quiet in here. There's still a lot of chat, but it's all kind of between the... Yeah. I wonder why they didn't wonder why there's not as many noobs on the channel. That would do it. All right, well, there's people there. If we can't get there, the next step is to go to the mailing list. There, I would actually include the body of the paste bin. By the way, I would copy the message log out and actually include it in the email message. So it's okay to include a ton of stuff in the email, but in the chat you need to be short. The first time you send a message to the list, It'll take maybe it'll take a couple hours because somebody has to approve it to send. It's fastest not to use the embed, but just to go off to. It's showing you here. Oh well. Anyway, the first time you post a message, you can post the same message to just email to beagleboard@googlegroups.com.